Happy E3 weekend, everybody. It's Napalm Dawn, and we're back critiquing a new set of Marvel's Avengers skins. So, they have told us here on Twitter that the new set of skins that's going to be coming out are steampunk ones. So they've been doing some themes for a little while. They were doing like Blue Hollow, and they were doing Red Room, and now they are doing steampunk. At some point, they're going to jump the anime shark and have like beach outfits. I mean, let's be honest, a lot of games have. Even Final Fantasy 13-2 had beach outfits for the characters. I distinctly remember that. And, you know, that's always the running joke about, anime shows like, oh, it's the beach episode, beach season. We're probably going to get swimsuits or summer wear at some point. I'm almost sure. But amazingly, what don't they give us all at once? The fucking MCU skins. Now, they gotta drib-drab that out so that we likely spend our money when they actually do something relatively decent, and then, oh look, here come the MCU skins, and you want to spend more money. Why do you wind up spending money and not credits? Because one of the best ways of enjoying this game is taking long breaks from it. I mean, admittedly, I take such long enough breaks from this game kind of because I have to. I'm so PC based in my games right now, including mobile games that I play on my PC. I'm not at the Xbox that much. And now I have Biomutant, which has got to get in the rotation here at some point, and that's another game that, I don't know, might be fair to middling from what people are saying. I'll definitely find out how Biomutant is. But here are the steampunk skins that will be coming. They're not all available right now. Some of them are. And just looking at the still, I would say, okay, first my history with steampunk. Then I'll get into the critique over here a little bit. I'm not a raving steampunk nerd. One of those people who, like, has to cosplay a steampunk version of everything, or even likes it. But I do think well done steampunk is pretty good. I mean, one of my favorite Final Fantasies of all time was American 3 or Global Final Fantasy 6. That had a pretty good steampunk aesthetic in it. When DC had that very short-lived MOBA for a little while, DC Infinite Crisis, I think it was, I beta tested it before I knew anything about MOBAs, really. It was before I was a proficient Heroes of the Storm player. So I didn't know my ass from a hole in the wall while I was playing it, but it was fun to see the outfits, and there was like a steampunk Catwoman that was pretty good. The steampunk Batman I thought was great, and there was like a steampunk world Joker where it was like really big, and he was like a fat butcher, and he like walked around with this like ham hock or giant ham leg in his hand was like his weapon. DC in that game really nailed down a lot of fun steampunk aesthetics, but sometimes, just people go overboard with it. And looking at this picture, I will say I think Black Widow is cool because of the goggles. She looks like she could be coming from Dishonored. Let's be fair, that's actually not too bad to say that it looks like she could be a character in Dishonored, or maybe an outfit for your female Dishonored character in Dishonored 2. Not bad. Maybe a little too much with like the filigree there. If like her top, if the pattern on her top there with the red and gold kind of stopped at the waist and maybe didn't go down to the legs, it'd be a little bit cooler, I think. But it's not bad. It's up there as a decent skin. Hawkeye kind of looks like Prince's Purple Rain screwed over a gold bar. I don't really know what to think about Hawkeye's one. I don't necessarily know that it says steampunk, and the patterning on the legs is almost too much. if they had bigger gaps between the stripes, it may be a little bit better. I don't know about that one. Steampunk Cap, I think, is actually pretty good. And that says a lot, because I like almost no Cap skins whatsoever. And the fact that the shield finally changes, which I hate his shield in this game, I think Steampunk Cap is pretty good. Hulk sort of has that Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde thing going on over there. It's not bad. I wouldn't say steampunk. I would say it's like a period piece. Like he could be a background character in Bram Stoker's Dracula. With, remember with Keanu Reeves, and Gary Oldman and Winona Ryder and everything. Great movie if you haven't seen it, by the way. I highly recommend it. It was in a weird transitional phase for Keanu Reeves when he was breaking out of Bill and Ted's Excellent Adventure and Point Break, but he hadn't quite made it to the Matrix yet. Sort of around the Speed era there, as he was transitioning from a actor to somebody serious. Like, I can picture that outfit as like somebody walking by in the street. It's not really steampunk, but it's like Victorian. It needs maybe something metallic about it, or something gizmo-y or gadgety. When you look at Black Widow, like, she's got gadgets going on over there. Cap, I don't know, he's just doing it better. Maybe it's because of the shield. Miss Marvel is not too bad. Very similar colors to Cap, better than Hawkeye's colors. Not nearly as busy as Black Widow. I think her skin is pretty decent on this, but again, how is it really steampunk if you don't have that much like metal or gadgets going on or anything? Thor, not that crazy about Thor. Thor is another one like Cap, where most of the skins, but we'll get to that in a little bit, I think most of the skins are kind of garbage. Kate, they picked the one with the shit hair. I hate that hair on her. And it disturbs me to the point where even if the rest of the skin is good, I'm not that crazy about it because it's that hair. The mask is good, sort of has a masquerade ball aesthetic to it, and we're going to see that in a little bit. And the Iron Man one I think is great. Kind of looks like Dark Knight, like Ben Affleck's Batman to a certain degree because of the bulk, but with the cape, I think Iron Man and Black Widow take the cake and win there. Cap is really close behind, and to me he gains a lot of bonus points because it's finally a decent Cap skin. Hawkeye is the worst. Thor is really low. Kate's outfit isn't that super bad. I just hate her hair. And Hulk is kind of in the middle, but shading a little bit more towards upper middle, I think. So Kate, Hulk, Thor, and Black Widow are in the marketplace, and we're going to take a look at that. And here, we're going to look at this too. We're going to look at this particular Thor, and going to comment on that. So let's take a deep dive on these here. Here's Hulk. Like, again, it's kind of a period piece in my opinion. It's not really steampunk, it's just sort of Victorian. Here's Black Widow. And the good thing is these are only 900, so at least they're not 1400s. Not bad. I almost wish the brown could have been closer to the purpley blue outfit, so there was a little bit less colors, but the goggles really do it. It's interesting to see these modern weapons with the steampunk, but at least she has something that says this is more than just Victorian wallpaper draped over a skin, although the red gold portions are like, oof, bordello wallpaper there. not bad. Has a Dishonored look, and Dishonored is usually considered pretty good in its characters and sort of steampunk look over there. So yeah, Black Widow definitely gets really positive marks. Kate, let's see her. Looks like, I mean, her legs look like what the wallpaper would in Prince's bathroom. Color variation on this one's a little bit more toned down than Widow, so it's better. Mask is kind of interesting. Just hate the hair. Quiver looks like it maybe has a little bit of the steampunk love, but again, it's just more Victorian than steampunk. Thor, I know I'm gonna hate. Yeah. Yeah. Again, kind of looks like he's wearing Victorian wallpaper as cloak. The red and black pants when everything is black and gold, little jarring. Not that crazy about Thor. And let's take a look at, first we'll take a look at Boot Camp Cap. Because we gotta look at the shield. See, everything they do with Cap has the shield, and there's too much red in it for me to really like it. Again, it's like the You Captured Their Stunt Doubles from Spaceballs. It's the Avengers, but it's just a little off. You know, it's Village of the Damned creepypasta Avengers, really, because they approach reality, but they don't like... Now, this hair for Kate, I like a little bit more. I wish they would do more skins with that one. But here is Hardware Store Thor. I like this one. Admittedly, I like this one quite a bit. And this is something that I would pick for my Thor, because it gets rid of most of the elements that I generally hate about the Thor skins. And I think a lot of that is the hair. This one bundles up the hair, a simple outfit that everything kind of looks like it fits, not too many colors in the palette over here, not legendary, it's only 900. Kind of chops off a good chunk of the face that makes it look like creepy Avengers, and actually puts it more just straight up Thor. So this is actually one that I would get. But if we go over here, I have what I believe is King Thor. So I tend to always touch base with the skins that I'm running at the moment. So there's a Fear itself, Black Widow, Ronin Hawkeye, but not really the Ronin I would have wanted. I grabbed it because it was Ronin, but I didn't know that a better Ronin was going to come along, so it's Purple Rain Ronin. A decent cap. The headpiece, the helmet is good on this one. Hate the shield, but this one cuts down on some of the things that I really dislike about their Captain America. Maestro, which is perfect. I mean, spot on. This Maestro skin is really, really good. Cannot complain about that one at all. Really like it. I like this Kamala Khan one. It's actually face paint instead of a mask. The Thor is decent. This is my favorite Kate. Don't want to switch off of this Kate probably ever. And there is MCU Iron Man over there. I think that one's the MCU one. I think I've heard that there's a bug in the MCU Iron Man one and I was really surprised to hear that. I mean, I knew about the Black Widow one and everything. Let's see if they even still have the MCU ones in the respective stores. Yeah, Avengers Endgame. So there it is. I am using that one. But I do have one or two other Iron Man skins that I like. Actually, I think Timeless is pretty decent. Really not interested in any of the superiors. With the helmet being open, the faceplate being open. Centurion's pretty cool. Not too sure how I feel about the jet booster ones. Definitely don't like ray gun. Even though it goes for kind of a Buck Rogers aesthetic there. Red Dwarf isn't too bad. So I have Illustrious, which kind of looked MCU, and I got that one a long time ago because it approached MCU and got rid of a lot of the things that I dislike about the Iron Man skins, mostly about the helmet. Retro's not too bad. This just looks like a tablecloth. And yes, I have Rover Burble Iron Man. I got it for the memes. I did it for the lulz. I did it for the Nookie. The Nookie. What? The Nookie. So, I mean, Iron Knight really is just kind of a reskin of the Steampunk, or rather the Steampunk is a reskin of that. And it has the cape. You can see Iron Pyrite is really, really close to the Steampunk one, except it lacks the cape. Bleeding Edge is okay. Superconductor is okay. You know, interesting. Let's see, will it wrap around? Yeah, it wraps around. So I think the Steampunk one is decent. But again, I mean, if you're gonna go out and get the Avengers one, why go ahead and get the Steampunk one? You're just throwing credits at them at this point. And it's counterintuitive. The way that I like to play the game, which is sparingly, especially if a session bugs out on me, which fortunately they haven't recently, it's not conducive to building up credits. So then, you know, when something comes along that you want, you wind up spending money on it because you're not playing it that frequently, so you're not earning the credits. While we're on Miss Marvel, I may have some bad news. It came from We Got This Covered, which is always considered, take it with a grain of salt when people talk about news from We Got This Covered. But a very common leaker who has been right before has said that Marvel is not happy with the actress who is currently playing Miss Marvel for the series and everything, or the movie that they're doing with her, and it's a little bit troublesome. And it's a shame because the actress who did Miss Marvel's voiceovers and everything, she got universal praise when this game dropped. Like, everybody liked her. People either had issues with the game and the gameplay loop and how it played and the bugs and the creepypasta skins and everything, or they were racist against the Miss Marvel character and like, why is this brown girl heading up this major game and can't they have a major player do it? And like, fuck all the haters of Miss Marvel. She was the best thing of the game when it dropped, and going through the story as her was the best. And I don't feel she was a shoehorned in character. I think that character made this game, and the voice actress, you felt, did a good job. It felt like you were really listening to a Miss Marvel, not somebody simply playing a Miss Marvel. And to hear that the actress is not, I don't know, maybe not doing too well with Marvel is a little bit worrisome. And I kind of almost wish they got the voice actress for this game, which she just doesn't really look the part. She's not young enough for it and everything. So yeah, right now for the Thor skins, Unworthy I would own, and I do. Most of the others aren't really that, just aren't impressing me a lot. But yeah, Hardware Store Thor I think is really good. And again, we don't have MCU skins for them right now. Cap. Ultimate Patriot's not too bad. Sand Shark, Living Legend, Oathkeeper, that's kind of a scary name to be touting right now in the States. Oathkeeper is not really a good name that you want to be associated with. Let me take a look at Fighting Spirit. See, it's the shield. Every time the shield stays the same, no matter what. And that's one of the reasons why I think the Steampunk skin is pretty decent. This one, First Avengers, not too bad. boot camp isn't too bad. I have Sentinel of Liberty. Not really a fan of Rebirth. And let's see, not really looking at Black Widow. Let's take a look at Hawkeye. Not that crazy about the Iron Eye ones or the Space one or the Armored ones. Let's see. Oh, actually some additional Ronin ones. Yeah, I've definitely picked a bad Ronin. Like this Red Ronin I would like a lot better. There's the Jerry Garcia. Not that crazy about the bald ones. Another couple Jerry Garcias. Debut is okay, but I don't really like the yellow. A little bit contrasting too much there. Heroes Reborn. Here's all the Florida Swamp Gator ones. Let's take a look at Kate. This one always makes me think of Blade Runner. Something sharp. The hair. Maybe actually even Frankly Gorgeous. I forget which one it specifically is, but there's one of these with the quiver heads that really reminds me of Daryl Hannah's character from Blade Runner. The mask ones are a little weird, but steampunk is okay. I just hate that they use that hair with that one. Paisley's pretty well known. Too Cool is fairly Kate standard. So yeah, that's what we've got right now. They've taken a break from the MCU skins, which I think is a little stupid. And it just goes to their greed. Because if you get people hyped for MCU skins and you drop 2 bad ones, and then you drop a couple good ones, and people are like, oh, okay, you're getting there. Why the pause? Like, what are they doing with the pause here? Are they want to announce some at E3 and be like, hey, starting to, like, really, I don't think they would be at E3, to be honest, but if they were at E3, I would be like, hey, during E3, get free, fucking free Thor and Cap MCU skins. Like, you gotta give the community something. These free nameplates per week aren't it. You are basically running a mobile game scam with this game at this point that people probably paid top dollar for. And maybe even pre-ordered. You know, anybody who got it during a $20, $25 Steam sale, maybe they're sitting pretty, but for those of us who believed in this game, and when it got the Sonic treatment and Black Widow stopped looking like goddamn white chicks, or Duke Nukem with a, you know, red hair, we had faith in this game, and our faith wasn't really rewarded, and now we're basically dealing with a mobile game economy in a game that is a full price AAA game, and these skins aren't going to do it. And botching MCU skins isn't going to do it either. That you need to get a PR team out ahead of this game and talk to the community again, and like be forward with us. Have community management. You know, we've seen games that have tried this and have their ups and downs, like World of Warcraft and Heroes of the Storm and Destiny. Destiny has always been a really big one of, hey community, we're the Destiny people, we're going to talk to you, we're listening to you. Oh, what was that? You thought we said we were listening to you? Well, we weren't. We said we were, we weren't. But no, we're going to listen this time. Girlfriend plays a lot of Destiny too, and I hear a lot about how that goes with the community and everything. So I just, yeah, okay, champion system, woo. They got to get content out. They got to get Spider-Man out for the PS players. Wakanda's got to get here sooner rather than later. Just maybe drop a new boss in there, a new mission, like take a biome or a mission and rotate it in for a week and kind of make it limited time, and then like rotate it out. give people something to play. If it's going to be new but time limited, you might really drive up the traffic in a spike. And then you rotate that biome out or that map out, and then here comes a new one. You need new enemies. You need new bosses. Maestro is basically Abomination with a beard, with a Hulk Hogan beard. I mean, it's... This game is dying. It's a fish out of water flopping and gasping its last breath because it's out of water, and they're doing it to themselves. It's not the community. It is the people who make this game are bending the community over its knee and just whipping the shit out of it. And I don't mean a good, fun Lady Demetrius goo kind of whipping over here, that yes mommy. Like, this isn't a yes mommy whipping. This is just like, you paid top dollar for it, get your spankings. I really need to do better. And it, you know, taking long breaks from the game, taking like a week or two away from the game, and then playing it for several hours one weekend has worked for me, but then it means I never really get the credits to get anything the game offers unless I like straight up pay for it. So that's what's going on there. And I mean, you know, we kill through the campaigns when they come out. It takes like, what, 2 or 3 days to do a campaign over here. I don't even know why Reassemble thinks I'm only 90. Yeah, you could play Reassembled again, but again, you're not breaking the loop. It is the loop of this game if you went and did Reassembled again. In just dealing with Abomination and Taskmaster and Maestro, which is a Hulk skin on Abomination. And it's so obnoxious with the goddamn gamma. Red Room was interesting. Red Room with the training rooms were okay, because they were hard. Like, sometimes it was so hard to stay alive in those, because you're like, hey, I'm Black Widow, and I'm gonna put this grappling hook over there, and oh my god, I have just grappled into the lava again and again. And I've jumped into the air, and I've grappled to this drone in the air, and I've killed it, and now I am fucking flying, kicking the lava at 90 miles an hour again and again and again. Oh, this creature just hit me, or this robot just hit me, and I've been sent 50 miles flying into the lava again and again and again. Stage 5 was like 70% lava and 30% platform. And if my controller was a living thing, I would have choked it, I would have choked the shit out of it literally like 22 times. Yeah, ignore the potato of this. This is my Xbox streaming to my upstairs computer over here. But we gotta break this loop, and Wakanda can break it, and I mean, even to some degree, Spider-Man could break it, because at least it's a very new character, and not here's Kate and here's Hawkeye, which is a lot like Kate, but not exactly.
Hey there, oh there.
You know, the champion system's cool. I've got some of the Red Room plates, and here's Kamala Khan, my main, still not even really 150, although it's just a matter of tweaking the gear. And I can do it. Pretty decent cosmetics unlocked for her. This one is one of my favorites. Das Vidania is. Jersey Girl is too. Some of the casual. Superfan is pretty cool for like a cheaper skin. Obsidian is the pre-order. Not bad. The Stark Tech one that the game gives you, it's okay.
See what I've been cooking up?
Most of Miss Marvel skins are actually pretty solid, but yeah, this game needs help, and the help it needs is not skins. Or if they're gonna do skins, get all the MCU ones out there now, and stop putting intermediary skins that take away people's money when you know they're probably just waiting around to spend the money on the MCU skin. So Anyway, guys, what do you think of the skins we covered here today? Are you still playing Avengers? Would you come back if Wakanda dropped? And would you come back if Spider-Man dropped? No news about Spider-Man. Who knows? And some of the defenders are like, well, it's so hard to push and pull builds over remote and COVID. Like, that maybe was an excuse last year at this time. Even last October, a month after the game rolled out. Even in February of 2021, maybe that was an excuse. It's June, folks. At least in the States, the world is beginning to open up a little bit. The country's beginning to open up. A good chunk of the world is. That's not an excuse anymore. There is no excuse for the issues that this game has other than it's just Crystal Dynamics and Square. That's it. Excuse is over. That's it. That is the bullseye on the dartboard right there. It's the developers. It's not even the community at this point. So, that's it for me, guys. That's, there you go. That's how we feel. That sums up the Avengers community. The game released. Yay, the game released. We're gonna have fun. And the game released, and... perfect. See you guys later. Have a good E3 weekend.